Hey, welcome in everybody. My name is Laura from Tenacious Taurus Tarot, and this is going to be the general collective message for the weekend. And so these are the weekend vibes. I always like to talk about the astrology aspects first, my intuitive downloads, and then I like to jump in with the cards. So stick around. We got some pretty potent energies playing out this weekend. Hit that subscribe button. Don't forget to like the video, comment on the video, and share the video, especially if you're liking the content that I'm putting out there, and especially if the message resonates. And so this weekend, we got the moon transiting through Scorpio. It's going to enter into Scorpio early Saturday morning. We're going to have Mercury forming a square to Uranus, and what I was shown was major judgment. So there might be some type of reckoning playing out this weekend. On Sunday, we're going to have the sun in opposition to Saturn. The moon's going to form a trine to Mars, and the moon is going to be sextile the sun. And so what I was shown was some pretty hefty energies when it comes to a tower, a magician reversed. I was shown the judgment card. I was also shown the ace of wands reversed with the temperance in reversed. And so let's talk about these energies, guys. Let's talk about them. And so this weekend, the judgment card, I felt a strong energy of judgment coming through, connected to an empress. So you could be this empress going through some type of awakening or reckoning, some type of soul retrieval. And I was also shown the justice with the Knight of Cups. And so you might be this empress, and there might be an offer or an apology coming forward for you. And so the energy just felt really nervous. It felt very upsetting. It felt like a lot of tension, a lot of anxiety. And so if you've been waiting to receive news or a message, get ready to receive some type of news. And it might not be what it is that you're expecting. There might be some type of upsetting news coming forward. There could be some type of unexpected experience that's going to force you to instill some changes here. And so the energy just felt excessively confusing, like a spiraling when it comes to Mercury square Uranus. And so there might be a lot of information being downloaded very quickly. There might be a lot going on all at once in the energies this weekend, creating difficulties when it comes to making a choice or choosing a path. And so it just felt somebody here is very impatient, and I felt this over mental stimulus, like somebody's thoughts are kind of in overdrive here. And so this will create confusion. This can create indecisiveness. It can create this energy of feeling like you're spinning in circles and you don't know which path to take. So take a step back if that's the case. But I felt this deep-seated energy of intolerance. And so maybe you're intolerant of failure. Maybe you need to admit defeat or admit failure. But it is all what you deem as a failure here coming up. And so I also feel this overwhelming energy of envy and jealousy. And so this is going to likely create some nervous, impulsive tendencies. And it might propel you into a very problematic situation if you don't ground these very nervous tension like energies. And so fear of death, that's what I heard. Fear of death, fear of change. And so death is nothing to fear. Change is nothing to fear. And so we do have to kind of learn to master and control all of these negative thoughts and these negative emotions. And so there's that throat chakra acting up. I do feel weaknesses are going to be highlighted this weekend. And if you are playing into all of these negative emotions and the tension and the fear and all of the irritability, just be mindful. It can bring on poor health. It can also bring on a very challenging energy of disillusionment. And so somebody here I feel has two very deeply rooted beliefs and is having a hard time choosing a path. And so I heard separation. So separation can mean many things. It can mean two people going their own ways. It could just mean like a separation consciousness where you don't feel connected to anybody. So be mindful of that this weekend, okay? We've got this energy, I feel, of initiation with the moon trine Mars. That's what I was shown, an initiation. I heard the word initiation. And so it might be time to take a risk. It might be time to explore a new direction and to make a choice. I do feel the energy is saying, hey, I know it's a little bit confusing, but you got to find a way to set those long-term goals, and you got to find a way to take those steps to attain your goals and your aspirations. And so you might even be asked to stand alone. I kept hearing that Godsmack song, Stand Alone. And so Maybe it's time to just think for yourself. Maybe it's time to learn a little bit more independence. But I feel if you have been overly dependent on others to keep you company or to help you out, figure things out. This is saying, hey, you can't keep being overly dependent on others to guide you, to teach you, to help you out financially. It's kind of just this energy of you can no longer be overly dependent on other people. And so these energies, I feel, are bringing forward this very headstrong energy. It's like headstrong, like a bull type energy. And so it's almost like somebody here wants to have it their own way, and they're likely going to be ruled by a lot of impulsiveness, this energy. And I was shown somebody having a slip and fall. And so competition, obstacles, I heard backstabbing, and I heard settlement. And so there could be some type of long pending settlement that is being closed out, or a cycle that is reaching some type of completion in the energies this weekend. But I feel somebody here that I'm connected to in the collective feels like they are in the spiritual battle of their life. And so you might be feeling discouraged. You might be feeling like, hey, everything's a struggle. Everything's an uphill battle. There might be a dispute that needs to kind of reach resolution. There might be some type of material loss in these energies. But I felt somebody here is very nervous, very high strung. Somebody here also has a very pompous attitude, because I was shown the Hermit with the King of Cups. And so somebody here is going through something major. And I just felt like a little kick there, a little energy kick there. And so there's a major transition, and somebody here I feel needs to embrace personal growth. And so a re-identification. This is a time to go inward. This is a time to gain clarity on your goals, on your aspirations. It's time to really figure out your intentions when it comes to finding your true path and your true long-lasting direction when it comes to your path this lifetime. And with the Sun in opposition to Saturn, this was the Tower energy with the Magician energy. And so I feel it's going to be difficult to work through these energies this weekend. You might be finding yourself in a very difficult, challenging time period and facing restrictions. And so it's time to shed, it's time to temper, and it's time to rebalance. I was shown the Temperance card. I also felt somebody here is dealing with this underlying energy of melancholy, and this is creating worry. And so there might be some type of loss, or there might be some type of grief that is needing to be worked through. But what was really prominent in the energies that I channeled was disgrace. So somebody here might feel like their entire life is a disgrace. And if you keep resisting the changes when it comes to these energies, get ready to face some type of upheaval. And so disruption is on the horizon, is what it feels like, especially if you're in a situation and you're unwilling to take action. The universe will come and bring that Tower in to dismantle something false. And so this is kind of the energy of no more staying stuck in these old patterns and these old cycles. So let's go a little bit further with the cards. Let's see what other messages need to come through with the Oracle and the Tarot, and it might be completely separate. But what I do want to say is the Virgo Pisces axis was very prominent in my channeling. So pay attention to where the Virgo Pisces energy resides at in your chart, because I was shown the energy of the High Priestess and the Empress. And so somebody here knows something. Somebody here is about to step into the life that they really want. And so I do feel this is an opportunity to step into your power. Yeah, expansion. Look at that. We're going to use the Star Codes Astro Oracle deck to start. We got partnership and we got expansion. And so this is about expanding when it comes to relationship cycles. So guys, feel free to check out the description box below if you would like to book a personal reading with me. Down below, there's a link to my webpage. There's also an option to join the membership side of the channel. I go live every Thursday at noon Eastern Standard Time, and I do an all zodiac sign messages, what Spirit wants you to know right now, every Thursday. So head on over there and check it out, right? And remember, guys, Tarot, Oracle, it's all just about guidance. It's all about stepping into your truth, stepping into your power. I'm not here to tell you what to do. The cards certainly are not here to tell you what to do. They're just here to maybe expand your thought process. It's just kind of here to help you get nudged in the right direction. So we get Sagittarius energy, And we get partnership, but this partnership card is saying, hey, there's a challenge here. There's an obstacle. Maybe you feel like you're in constant competition with somebody. If you are in competition in a romantic relationship, I think it's time to take a step back. I do feel like a Five of Wands connected to a partnership here. Juno is an asteroid, and we all have this placement sitting in our birth chart somewhere. But I do feel there's also this energy of like the Hermit. Somebody here needs to expand beyond a certain relationship cycle or a relationship pattern. So get ready to maybe expand. Get ready to maybe head in a new direction, a more suitable direction this weekend. But let's get into it, guys. Let's get a few of these messages out. Let's see what we need to know this weekend. They're showing me the wheel with the Two of Wands, and so this might be a fated crossroads, a fated pivot point. And so look at that, we get the Strength card, and somebody here I feel is really needing to find their strength and their dignity. Maybe there is some type of situation that feels like a disgrace. I do feel death energy as well. There's this death energy coming through. We get Saturn, and so Saturn is saying, hey, where do you need to restructure your life? I feel a Queen of Wands in reversed energy. So there could be a feminine energy coming through that is lacking strength, lacking determination, might be feeling very lethargic, depleted of energy. There could be a feminine here that is clinging to something that needs to be released. The Queen of Wands reversed can be jealous, can be envious, can be possessive, maybe over money. So there's something here about self-worth and self-value. The second house is all about finances. It's about self-worth and self-value. It's about resources. And I feel, don't be tempted here to lower your standards. I do feel like a Page of Cups energy coming through. And I think, you know, when I think of the second house, it's naturally ruled by Taurus. And the 8th house, the opposite of that, is ruled by Scorpio. I think somebody here got tempted. And I do feel there's a need to restructure something when it comes to self-worth. And then we get the Venus energy on the bottom of the deck. And so this is about closing out a cycle. It's the world energy. I feel the world energy connected to the Venus energy. And so Venus is all about my beloved. And so there is an invitation here to descend into the depths of some understanding when it comes to relationships. The 7th house is all about one-on-one relationships. And I do feel there's some type of injustice here that needs to kind of come to light. I feel this energy too. Maybe there's a need to release a false belief about a twin flame or somebody that you think is your twin flame. Like, is this relationship actually pouring back into you? I think you need to ask yourself that. Let's read into the Saturn card because that's come out quite a bit in some of the readings lately. So let's read the Saturn energy. But when it does come to the beloved, I do feel there's something here about romance coming through. And I think emotions might be running really, really strong right now. So just be mindful of that. Be wary of crimes of passion. I want to say passionate love or hate. Somebody here might have some type of an addiction when it comes to a relationship, a love addiction. And so when we look for love in material things, and when we look for somebody to fill that void that we have within, somebody here I feel is fascinated with something superficial. It's time to go deeper. It's not just about the superficiality. It's not just about the money. And so with Saturn energy coming through, I think it's time to restructure your foundation. You think about a foundation. Your foundation is your body, your bones, your teeth. Your foundation is your personal authority or your spiritual maturity. And so there's a need to master discipline here. And so maybe you're in a traditional relationship and it's just not working anymore. Saturn is saying, hey, get ready to face some type of challenges. And these challenges are coming to maybe help you close out a 7-year cycle. I heard the 7-year itch. And so are you honoring yourself? Are you honoring the inner teacher within you? Because Saturn is saying it's time to step to the next level of maturity. Are you in a state of emotional maturity? The Queen of Wands energy in reverse to me is saying, hey, there's a lack of maturity here. Somebody here is behaving very inexperienced, and it's time to stop giving your power away. Don't give your power away. Don't focus on things that aren't suiting you. And so there's some type of an abuse I feel going on here. It could be abuse of authority, could be abuse of power. Somebody here is being held accountable, and somebody here is being told, hey, you got to learn to better cope with your emotions, and maybe it's time to grow up a little bit. So take that with a grain of salt. I do feel there's a challenge here because somebody is clinging to a relationship or an old concept about a relationship, or clinging to a false belief connected to a twin flame or a possible twin flame. And I do feel this is leaving you very restricted. So I think the ancestors are calling somebody here to grow up a little bit, to mature, because there is some type of process of initiation going on connected to self-worth and connected to self-value. So let's get a few more oracle messages before jumping in with the tarot. So we get, look at that, we get love and we get spirit guides. And so deep, unconditional, healthy love wants you. So this is like bye-bye superficiality. And so what you are seeking is always seeking you, but you have to let go of things that are no longer working. You have to let go of superficial pursuits. And so the guides, I feel, are trying to guide somebody forward on their journey to go towards true unconditional love. But that truly is an inside job, first and foremost. So let's get a few of these cards out and let's see what else needs to come through. What other energies are we up against this weekend with these transits, with these axes? What do we got coming through for the collective? So that love energy came through again with the spirit guides and angels. So if you're in a situation where you have to beg somebody for decency, where you have to beg somebody for respect, if you feel like you got to control somebody because they're not giving you what you want, let that person go. That's not healthy. That's not reciprocal. And so somebody here is being shown the need to liberate themselves. And so why are you holding on to something that's causing you pain? Why are you holding on to a person or a situation that's causing you pain? Because I do feel there's a shift. Look at that. There's a shift, a paradigm shift. And so somebody here is really going through a really awful physical manifestation because there's resistance to this journey, to this higher state, to these higher timelines. And so there's a greater purpose here, for sure. And so how can you explore this journey to your higher self? So maybe you've been negatively influenced. I do feel it's time to let go of an old belief about relationships, an old belief about family structures. I do feel something here is dying away and there's resistance to this restructuring. And so what is it that you need to let go of? Saturn is saying, hey, you can't control another person. You can't control the outcome either. So you kind of got to release the need to control, the need to know the outcome. All you're in control of is yourself only. And so the universe is saying, hey, step aside. Step aside. Let me get this job done for you. And so there's going to be a breakthrough this weekend. There might be a breakdown for a breakthrough, but there's a need to shift your perspective, and there's a need to put in the hard work in order to find a solution. And so the signs have been cautioning somebody, follow the signs, follow the syncs. And so the universe is constantly communicating with you, and you're constantly communicating with the universe, especially when it comes to your thoughts, your emotions, and the energy that you're emitting out there. And so the universe is always going to bring onto your path the frequency that you're emitting. And so if you keep emitting control, power and control, jealousy and envy, you're going to have a huge pile of negative energy in and around you. And so we attract, like attracts like, opposites attract as well. But there's something here that is saying, hey, don't you want that deeper meaning in your life? Maybe it's time to disconnect from a false relationship or a false social tribe or a group of people that's really keeping you depleted when it comes to your path. Somebody here is being stuck in place and stagnant, connected to a false romantic partnership, and this really isn't contributing to your life. So maybe it's time to take a step back and let the divine kind of take the lead. The divine plan at work is saying, hey, there's a tower coming. Because the divine is saying, hey, we understand that you want things to unfold a certain way. You're not in control. There's a need to release expectations. And the divine is saying there's going to be more meaningful long-term results if you let them come in with this tower. So detach. Subtract the ego from your agenda, because somebody here has got a tight hold, a tight grip on a situation. And it might be simply because of the money. And let the higher power kind of step in, because there's a higher power at work here. And there is a need to kind of understand some type of relationship pattern in order to break free from it. So let's go a little bit further, guys. With the Angel Wisdom Tarot, look at that bottom of the deck. We get the release in reversed. You're blocking your blessings. Stop resisting this ending. The longer you resist this ending, the more that you will create challenges and delays when it comes to a new beginning. And so don't resist the transformation. There's an opportunity here, I think, to go down a brand new path, a path of abundance, a path of maybe purchasing a new home. Yeah, there's a path of abundance here waiting, but there's a need to let go of a situation. So the King of Pentacles, Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn, this is somebody that has the Midas touch. This is somebody that knows, hey, everything's going to turn out okay. We've got somebody here very secure, very accomplished, maybe even very charismatic and grounded. We've got a King of Coins here where I do feel he is financially secure. So there is something about resources. And so we could have a masculine here that is strong, that is secure, that is grounded, dealing with the Queen of Wands in reverse, holding on simply because of the resources. And so somebody here I feel got tempted. That's really what it feels like. So let's do 9 of these cards, guys. Let's see what else needs to come through. Keep in mind, this is not sign specific. I just saw the 9 of Pentacles on the bottom of the deck. And so there's that Empress energy. I cut the deck and one of them stayed. So it's time. It's time to take action. It's time to plan for the long term. It's time to face the consequences of some past choices. Do not let pride get in the way of you deciding what's next in your life. So let's get it out. We got 8 of Cups. Yeah, it's time to move on from this. Like, I feel like it's already dead. It's already over. There's a need to move on. There's a need to move on from a situation that really isn't your happily ever after. The 8 of Cups, it's like stop holding on to a relationship that really isn't connected anymore. I feel there's 2 people here in a state of depression. I feel, you know what, it's okay to admit that you didn't make a wise choice. I do feel somebody's going to have to pack up and leave a home situation behind. Why are you resisting this change? Somebody is resisting this change. And so you've got to choose to make these life changes. There is a situation here that's holding you back. It's an illusion with the 10 of Cups in reversed. We get the Hermit in reversed. We get the Temperance card. Thankfully, that's the central energy. And so there is a rebalancing going on here. The Hermit reversed is saying, hey, you've done enough meditation. You've done enough soul seeking. It's time to create balance. It's time to master self-control and to follow the divine guidance. And so we've got the divine is saying, hey, it's time. It is time to do what's best for you. It's time to trust in this shift. I feel there's a shift. There's wise counsel coming from above, or maybe from a Taurus. Doesn't have to be. But I do feel you've learned enough out of this situation. It's time to embrace the spiritual quest. We get the Page of Cups in reversed. We get the Justice in reversed. And we get the Dreamer in reversed. And so, yeah, I do feel there is like this energy of social disgrace. I feel somebody is feeling foolish. Somebody is resisting ending a cycle because maybe they don't know where this fresh start is going to leave them or lead them. I feel there's a lack of love. There's a lack of open-heartedness. There might even be cruelty here in a situation. But I feel it's time to stand up for what it is that you believe in. There is some type of social injustice here playing out. And somebody is feeling like a sacred fool. And so I feel it's time to just close out this cycle. If it isn't bringing you what you want, if it isn't wish fulfillment, then it's time to complete the lesson. It's time to embrace this path of enlightenment. And it's time to step into freedom. When you close out this cycle with Saturn, something about Saturn of restructuring, then you can go towards success. Then you can go towards accomplishment. So you could be dealing with one of the fixed signs, but hey, this really isn't what you wanted. It isn't what you asked for. It's not wish fulfillment. And so how can you have faith in the universe and take a leap of faith? Because the new beginning is here. And whether you take the leap of faith or not, the universe is going to shove you off the ledge here because it's time to come from a place of integrity. And so there is going to be an unexpected choice. Could be a choice between two. Usually the Lovers is a choice between two. It is about choosing from the heart. It is about recognizing, hey, I've been in a state of confusion. There could be addictions here. There's a need to get clear about what you want. Stop sending the universe mixed signals. And it's time to get moving. So there is going to be some type of an event or tower or shakeup. And I know the tower's not out here, but there is a need to go towards a new path. There is a need to maybe have that very difficult conversation. The Page of Swords in reverse, there very much could be unwelcome news, and this can create unexpected, rapid changes in the energies this weekend. But this is saying, hey, you can't stay stuck. You got to travel. You got to move. You got to get going. And so there is going to be a major wake-up call. There's going to be a wake-up call. Somebody here has not been listening to their intuition. And I feel you got to pay attention. The moon reverse is like, it's time to face your fears. It's time to let go of these fears. Could be a Pisces. You could be a Pisces. You could be dealing with a Pisces. I see Gemini, Taurus, Scorpio, Sag, Virgo, Taurus, Leo, Aquarius. And so there is going to be an opportunity here to let go and let God. But there's going to be like an aha moment, an epiphany, a revelation. And then you're going to have to lay down a long-standing burden. And so you know what that burden is. Maybe you're working too many hours. Maybe you go to work and work a lot of overtime to avoid having to deal with a situation. But there is an issue here that is unresolvable, and you can't keep avoiding facing the problems, facing the challenges, because somebody's really avoided moving on from a situation where there's been a lack of balance. And so something here is not right. Something here is not balanced. I think you've given more than you've received. And it's time to just admit, hey, I made a bad choice. I went down the wrong path, and now I gotta realign to get back on track. So what is the foolish energy all about? My ear is ringing very loudly on my right side. So there is a new start here. Yeah, somebody is just feeling foolish. I do feel somebody doesn't want to admit that it's over. They keep romanticizing a situation here. There's challenges, there's delays, there's setbacks. Somebody is avoiding this universal push to move forward to do the work, because it's going to take hard work. You might have to start over, but that's where the victory lies, is in making a better choice. Don't ignore the red flags. Don't ignore the red flags, because it's time to release a situation. It's time to release. It's time to take those next steps. And it's time to get out of this negative thought process, this lack mentality, because you're in a relationship that just isn't aligned with where you're at anymore. And so it's time to let go of a situation where it just isn't working. The Two of Cups reverse is saying, hey, there's a separation, and it's time to break yourself free. It's time to recognize that you have the power. You're keeping yourself stuck. Everybody has free will, but all it takes is some confidence to get out of a situation. You're not helpless. You're never helpless. And so I do feel there's a situation here where there's a lack of trust, there's a lack of honor, there's a lack of growth, there's a lack of devotion, and somebody is just so afraid to take action, to leave it behind, because maybe it will lead to some type of social disgrace. But there is a separation, there is an ending, there's something about some very old childhood patterns here that keep repeating, that keep challenging you. And so if you want positive change, you're going to have to put in the work. You're going to have to put in the work and maybe go in a different direction. And so that's kind of what I see here. So let's get a message with the Crystal Stone deck and see what we're going to close this off with. But I just feel there's a major wake-up call. Somebody here is going to deliver some very blunt messages. And this is going to get you to review a situation. We get so delayed. So delayed. Deepen your intuition. Somebody does have a big decision to make here. I just heard, I got 99 problems and you ain't one of them. So I don't know if somebody's getting rid of an issue here, a problem here. It's kind of time to just close out a cycle. So I just feel somebody just can't wrap their head around it. They just can't wrap their head around it. And so meditate. There is something about a deep-seated abandonment wound that is keeping somebody thinking, and it's preventing action. Very much could be a Virgo. Virgo is that planning energy. They got to think, But I feel like there's somebody here in chronic indecision. And I just feel there is a need to to like cut something out. You got to cut something out. And so abandonment wounds. So how can you surrender? Surrender to what you know deep down inside. And the problem isn't going to get solved until you go deep into understanding why the problem's there in the first place. So you got to protect yourself. You might need to protect yourself. I do feel there's a negative pattern here. Something connected to Scorpio energy. You don't have to be a Scorpio, but it's kind of time to get out of a situation that seems very questionable. So there are some dark forces at work here. So throttle back and deepen your intuition and get up and go. That's kind of what I see here. Get up and go. Get up and go. And that's what I got. So I really hope this helped, guys. I hope this resonated. If you would like to book a personal or a soulmate reading with me, check out the description box below. And I look forward to seeing you all again next time. Thank you.